Hey guys, it's me, Colonel, and today I'm gonna teach you how to make this baby. It's gonna be able to pick a random person to put on the enemy team. This could be useful for infection games, for murder mystery games, for a lot of games, and this is actually gonna be all that you need. I'm gonna show you how to customize it to how many teams you have, though it won't take up any more ink, no matter how many teams you want it to have. These are what I'm showing on screen over here is basically all that you'll need. Over here, this is just choice, if you want them to be able to start it. You will probably want the scoreboard, or if you guys already know how to do it, you guys should be able to make it so then you can create your own button that starts the game instead of having a scoreboard here, because these holotars do take up a lot of ink. So if you don't know how to make it so then it starts the game from a button, then you should probably figure that out. And before we start this, I do want to remind you guys that if you guys have any questions or any problems, I will have my Discord linked in the description, or you can just comment and ask me. Likes are appreciated, guys. It helps me know if I'm doing well. Yeah, this tutorial should be pretty short. So I would say we should probably get started. Okay guys, so first up, what we will need to do is take out our maker pen, of course, because we need it to be able to create. You want to go to Gadgets, then go to Game Chips, and select Game Rules. You will need this to be able to create your actual game and the amount of teams that you have. You're going to want to spawn that in. I'm going to spawn it in over here. You might want it to be out of the way because you're probably just going to use it on its own. You probably won't need anything to be connected to it. If you configure it, you'll be able to customize it more, and it will open this palette. Basically, over here, you have some things that you might want to configure because it has its own presets. So if you want them to be able to kill each other, I would choose paintball team battle. You guys should probably understand the rest of them. If you guys have played Rec Room before, you guys should know what each one means. What mode name is basically each game rule chip mode, so you're able to have different game modes in a single game. Guys might want to modify this name to be whatever your game name is, because this is what's going to display at the start of every match, and it's going to be the button that they choose to be able to switch the. I'm going to quickly show you guys how to customize it so then it has the right amount of teams. I'm going to quickly just put in here tutorial. My game mode is now tutorial. Over here on the scoreboard that I have already spawned in, it says tutorial up there. Invite only is just because this is a private room. I'm gonna publish it later. You guys can come in here and see the system. Anyways, so you guys want to scroll over to the 6th page. It's basically says how many teams the game is gonna be able to have. Okay, if you want the game to be like a murder mystery, in which case you would have one team which is the innocents, one team which is the murderers, and another team that is the sheriffs. So that would be 3 teams. So basically another way to do this is how many roles you want there to be. So if you want there to be 3 roles for murder mystery, guards, murder, and innocence, again, team count 3. Other than the where the majority of the people will go, for example, like the innocents, whoever the innocents are, those are going to be like the default team, and any other team that isn't part of the innocents team, you don't ever want them to have 2 people. You want them to have 1 person each. Okay, so you can't have like 2 guards. You're gonna have 2 guards on separate teams, because it would take even more ink to be able to want to put them onto the same teams, if you guys know what I mean. Anyways, I'm not really that good at explaining these things, but just keep the team count, keep the player count on a non-default team to 1, okay? And if you want there to be 2 people taking up a single role, just make 2 separate teams that both have that role, okay? Anyways, Now to show you guys how to make the system, now that you guys have customized these game rules, you guys should have worked on it, but you guys should have had the game rules before. You guys should have probably used the game rules before. If not, they're pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, but you do need to already have the number of teams set. And I'm going to show you guys how to make the player randomizer now. So basically, the way that I do it is different from the way that most people would probably do it. And in my opinion, my way is a lot more reliable in ink, and it's a lot smarter in the fact that it solves many problems. So what most people who use let me get rid of this real fast. What most people will actually do is they will use something called a player event chip, which is this. It's able to detect if a player switches teams, the number of players in the server, if a player left, and if a player joined, and it will output those player IDs. And what most people will do is make sure that it saves the player who joins, and then it randomly picks through them. But I do a different way, and I feel like this way is smarter. What I do is I use a game state chip, which basically sends an output of 1 every single, for different categories for game started, for game ended, and for pre-game started. And it doesn't hold it for the entire time. It just sends out a quick output. To get there, I'm going to quickly show you guys how to get there. So to get there, you want to open your palette, go to Gadgets, Game Chips, and Game State Chip. It should be easy to find. It's on the first page, second one. Once you got that, we should start making it. This Game State Chip is going to be the thing that's controlling when everything happens. So this is going to be like the main thing over here. Next up, we're going to want to be able to save variables. And in Rec Room, there's an easy way to do that. Just open your palette, go to I'm going to make it so you guys can see it. Go to Gadgets. Gadgets. Then you want to go to Math Chips. Then click Combinator and spawn that in. Once you do that, you guys probably want to spawn in 3 combinators like this in this layout, because you guys might want to make it neat so then it's easier for you guys to understand. So what this combinator will be doing is it's going to be detecting when the time when the game ends. Basically, what this combinator is going to be doing is when the game ends, it's going to hold its output of 1, and it's going to reset after once the game starts. So to be able to do that, you guys want to wire the red pin over to this green pin, which is the game ended pin, and then you want to wire the output of that combinator back to itself. So it's going to be repeating over and over again. So it's going to hold its variable that way. You want to take the reset pin and wire it over to the red pin on the game state chip. Basically, the red pin is when the game starts. So it's saying that when the game ends, send a constant output until the game has started again. This combinator we don't have to worry about at this very moment. This combinator, this one's going to be doing is detecting if the server is new. And to do that, it's going to detect if the game has ever started yet. And it's going to say that if it hasn't started yet, then don't allow certain things to happen. Because if you guys don't have this, it's going to think that the game has already started when a new server is created. So it's going to be constantly switching everybody's teams, which you don't want when the server is created. So this basically fixes many bugs. So you want to wire this red pin on that combinator up to the game started pin, or the red pin on the game state chip. Then again, wire this combinator to itself. So this time you don't want to connect the reset pin to anything, because what it's going to do is it's going to be constantly counting. It's going to be adding up integers. So when the game hasn't started, it's going to be 0. But if if the game has started before, it's gonna be higher than 0. So it's gonna be counting up one by one every single time the game has started. Go to gadgets, okay? Then go to math chips. If you select a compare chip, you can spawn that in right next to it, and then it already has its default value for the green as 0, and we're going to be using that. Once you guys have spawned it in, you guys want to connect this output to the red side of the comparer. So basically, this will be able to detect if it's new, because when the game has never started yet, here, I'm going to get this out of the way. When the game has never started yet, it just kicked me out of the thing, okay. Because when the game has started, it's gonna be counting it, okay, in this combinator. So because the game hasn't started yet, it's gonna be 0, and it's gonna no, basically. Next up, you guys want to spawn in an OR chip, which, it's a Boolean chip, okay? But we're gonna switch it to the OR mode. So you guys want to open your palette, go to Gadgets, Math Chips, then Boolean Chip. Should have an AND on it. And you want to configure it in your Maker Pen, okay? Like, press Configure. And then you want to click the Boolean chip, then select OR in the modes that will pop up in here, in your palette. It should automatically open, and you want to wire if red equal green on the compare chip over to the first pin of the OR chip, and then up there you want to the top combinator, you want to wire that one's output to the next pin on the OR Boolean chip. Once you guys have done that, you guys have officially gotten your thing that makes sure that the game hasn't started yet, and you want to wire the OR chip's output over to the reset on the middle combinator. Once you guys have done that, you guys want to spawn in a so if you guys know what a state machine is, it's basically is a machine that you create in this game. It takes 3 chips at the least. It creates a loop of outputs, so you're able to have it so then it is constantly sending out a new output over a certain period of time. It's basically looping it. I'll actually quickly show you guys. If you guys already know what a state machine is, you can skip until after I've deleted it. But basically, this is a state machine, and if you guys can see how it's lighting up, going back and forth, as you can see, it's sending out an output whenever it's in the state, and same with this one. So with that, you're able to make it so that it's constantly sending out an output, or an output over a period of time, you know. Basically, this can make it easier to add things. This can make it easier to make something constantly switch between certain things. And I've found out how to save ink when doing it by creating what I call a not machine, okay? So to do this, you guys want to open your palette here. Then you guys want to spawn in a delay chip in gadgets, other chips. It should be on the first page. We're gonna spawn that in right there. You guys might want to configure the green pin on that delay chip to be equal to 3. Okay? And that's basically making sure that it's not like sending out an output too fast. It like slows it down, makes it a lot more reliable. Then you guys, in your palette again, wait here, let's go back. In your palette again, you want to go to gadgets, you want to go to math chips. You guys want to spawn in a Boolean chip, just like before, but we're not going to be using the same mode, okay? Once you guys have done that, you guys want to press configure in your Maker Pen, and configure that Boolean chip, okay? Should open this up. You guys want to configure it to be a not. And what that is saying that when the output is equal to 0, it's gonna send an output of 1. So it's basically reversing on and off. Okay, so you want to first connect this output, the delay output, over to the input in the not chip. then the output chip over to the input of the delay. And this has created a loop, if you guys can see. I don't know if you can, but it's constantly sending out an output of 1 over and over again. And what we want to do with this is we want it to be able to add these inputs over and over again. So to do that, we want to spawn in a combinator chip. You guys should already know how to do that. If not, just go to where my palette is and then spawn that in. Then you guys want to spawn in a second one next to it. With the first combinator that you spawned in right here, you guys want to make sure that it loops over itself. And then with the second combinator, you want to press configure in your maker pen, and then you want to configure the green pin on it to be 2. Once you guys have done that, wait, I forgot one thing, guys. Just, we need to, sidetrack here, sorry. So you guys want to quickly go into your palette and then go to, once you guys do, you want to spawn in a combinator chip down here, because this is something I completely forgot for some reason. And once you guys have done that, you guys want to go to game chips. On the third page, the last one is team mapping chip. You want to spawn that in next to that combinator. And then you want to press configure on that combinator that you spawned in. Switch it to multiply. Configure the green 0 to be -1, which you can do just by pressing subtract right there once. And then configure this team mapping chip to be set team player for the modes. Set player team right there. Once you guys have done that, you guys want to wire the output of the combinator chip over to the red pin on the team mapping chip. Then you want to configure the green pin on the team mapping chip to be team 1. What this is saying is that team 1 is the default team. For you guys, it's probably the innocents. You guys should be able to understand what I mean by that. And then you want to wire the output of this OR chip over to the red pin on the combinator chip. And what this is saying, when the game hasn't started, switch everybody's team to 1 no matter what. And this makes sure that your game resets every single time and makes sure that there's not more than 1 person on every team. Why multiply it by -1? Because in this game, a nice little shortcut that there is for switching everybody's teams is -1. For any player input on any chip, if it's -1, it should switch everybody's it should affect everybody's game. And that's what that is doing. Anyways, now to continue with this, with this system up here, you want to wire this combinator over to the first pin on this combinator, okay? Once you guys have done that, you guys want to wire the output of the delay chip over to the first pin for this combinator right here. And now it's going to be adding it, okay? But you don't want it to go over a certain point in this, okay? So what you want to do is go to math chips, compare chip, spawn that in above here. Then you want to configure it to be greater than or equal to right there. Then once you've done that, you want to wire the output of this not that pin, the output of this combinator over to the red pin on the comparer that we just spawned in, okay? Here, I'm gonna raise the camera for you guys real fast. Here. Once you guys have done that, you guys want to wire the output of that for the red pin over to the reset on this, okay? So, once you guys have done that, basically what this is saying is, if it goes over a certain count, it'll reset itself. You guys will figure, I'll show you guys why right now. So what you guys want to do is open your palette, go to gadgets. You guys want to go to game chips. Okay, you guys want to scroll to the last page, team mapping chip. just like last time. Then spawn that in. You want to spawn that in next to this combinator. Wait, I'm going to move it over a bit so then I can have this more compact. You guys want to configure that team mapping chip to be get player count. Here, I'll show you guys. Should be that one. Once you guys have done that, you want to wire this red pin on this combinator over to the team on this team mapping chip. And basically what this is doing is it will be going through every single team, making sure that it has a player on it. And we actually need it to have this not machine here for it to be able to do this, because what I'm showing you guys how to create is I'm basically making it so then you guys can customize it by literally by configuring one number. I'm trying to make this very easy for you guys. And this is also way less ink than any other system that I've made so far for it. So yeah, there's that too. Anyways, now to continue, you guys want to quickly open your palette, and here, I'll show you guys. Here, you guys want to open your palette and go to, you guys want to go to Math Chips, hit Compare Chip, and then you want to spawn that in next to this Team Mapping Chip. Then you want to configure the green side of that Compare Chip to 1. And you want to wire the player count output of this Team Mapping Chip over to the red side of it. And it's checking how many people are on that team. And once you guys have done that, what you guys want to do is once you guys have done that, you guys want to spawn in a combinator chip. You guys should know where that is by now, and put it in next to the compare chip. You guys want to configure that to be multiplying, which is that star right there. It's that one. And once you guys have done that, you guys want to the red side of that over to the else on the compare chip, and then wire the green side of that over to this compare chip right here. Right here, this one right here. If you guys can't see it, I'm sorry. It's the one that's sitting right next to the team map chip. Once you guys have done that, you guys want to open your palette, and then in here, I'll show you guys. In other chips, right here, you guys will be able to see a delay chip. You guys want to select that, and then you guys want to spawn that in. I'm gonna spawn it in here, and then you guys want to wire the red input or the signal over to the red output of this compare chip right here. Once you guys have done that, you guys want to again open your palette, go to Math Chips. Okay, wait, I'm gonna make it so then you guys can see it a bit better. Go over to Math Chips. Then you guys want the Boolean chip, you guys want to spawn that in. Configure it to be the OR. Here, I'll show you guys mine, because we've only done this one other time here. So the OR right there. Then once you guys have done that, you want to wire the reset pin on that OR over to this delay chip, output of that delay chip, okay? We're gonna delete this OR chip. Instead, we're gonna take this, okay? This reset chip on the reset pin on this not Boolean chip, and we're gonna wire it over to the output of the delay chip, because I'm trying to save even more ink for you guys right now as we speak. Anyways, so then we want to wire the reset chip on this delay, the reset pin on that delay over to the else on this compare chip, okay? And what that's doing is it's basically stopping the count at a certain point, at a specified point, basically. We're almost done. We've got 3 chips left, and then I will show you guys how to customize it for what you guys want to do. So once you guys have now that you guys are at this point, you guys want to spawn in, not spawn in, you guys want to open your palette, so then you can spawn something in. You guys want to go to random chip, and then you guys want to, yeah, it should be in the math section of your gadgets, and you guys want to spawn that in. You guys want to configure that chip to be a pulse right there. It should be that one. And what that does is it's making sure that the player doesn't constantly get put onto the team, so then we'll actually be able to have dying in it if you guys want. Yeah, just you need it to be on pulse, okay? Once you've done that, you guys want to wire this middle combinator output over to the signal, and once you guys have done that, we're gonna do a little bit of customizing here. So this blue pin on the randomizer chip, you want to configure that, so then you'll have this. Basically, it's saying the max number, so it'll pick anything between 0 whatever number we set on here. What you guys want to set is to the max amount of players allowed in your game plus 1. So if only 20 people were allowed to play this game, I would set this to 21. I would set it to 21 and press OK. And yeah, basically now it would select a random number between 0 and 21. So it won't ever select 21, but it will be able to select 20. And this of people, like the lower this number is, the faster it'll be able to select the people. But I wouldn't worry about that. I don't think it's that much of a problem for you guys. So yeah, just don't worry about it. You guys should know what I mean by that. Anyways, so you guys now want to open your palettes, go to gadgets, go to game chips. Wait, did I just? Yeah, game chips. You guys want to scroll down to the last page of that, okay, and select the team mapping chip. And we now are gonna spawn it in twice next to, like this, next to each other, okay? So the first team mapping chip right here, you want to configure that. You want to configure it to team 2 player. Once you guys have done that, you can close your palette and then configure the next team mapping chip to be set player team, and that will change the player's team. I didn't explain what this one did, what team to player did. It basically is saying each person gets an index, what's called an index on the team. If you guys have done programming before, you would know what this is. Basically, the index is so think about the teams as a variable, okay? And that variable will have multiple different people on it. So it would have multiple definitions. So it lists that out in a specific order. In Rec Room, it will list those numbers out it will have those numbers listed out in the order that they were put onto the team, that they joined the team. So basically, the first person in that list, and you guys can't see this list. This list is in the coding of Rec Room. So if it's index 0, it would list off if it's index 1, because that's where it starts in here. In Rec Room with the chips. If it's index 1, it will list off the first person who joined this team. And if it was index 2, it would list off the second person who joined it. And basically, using that, you would be able to go through you would be able to pick a random person on the default team to be able to be switched to the team, okay? And basically what you guys want to do with this middle, you guys know, this team mapping chip, you guys want to connect, not connect, you guys want to configure the team on it to be equal to 1, okay? And basically what this is going to do is it's going to switch a random person on the first team to get the role. And once you guys have done that, you guys want to wire the index or the blue pin on that team mapping chip over to the output of the random chip. And this is basically going to be randomizing. It's going to be randomizing the index, and it's going to be displaying like a random person because of that. And you want to then wire the output of this. You guys want to connect the two team mapping chips together, but red pin to red pin, okay? And then once you guys have done, this is the final wire, okay, guys? Final wire. You guys want to wire this green pin on this team mapping chip over to this multiplication combinator output right here. If you guys were able to make it to the end, that's good, because now you guys are going to learn how to customize this to match what your game will be. Okay, this is like one of the most important steps. You guys want to press configure on your maker pen and configure this green 0 for this pin that we put up here. Here, I'll bring it closer to you. This pin. Okay, you guys want to configure that green pin here. And this should pop up. We want to now set this to however many teams there are. Basically, what this is saying that is it'll check. So if it will be checking each individual team by adding up a number over and over again until it reaches the team that you want. And the reason why this is greater than or equal to is because you guys want to keep it this way, okay? What I'm telling you isn't a mistake. I know what it sounds like, because basically what you are hearing is that it'll reset before it gets to the last team, but it won't, because it takes time for this to process that. So if we had this just as greater than, then it would be sending the output too late, and this would be changing a person's team to a team that doesn't exist, okay? So we want this here to be able to regulate it, and it should be able to send every single output. And now, yeah, you guys are done after this, okay? So this will now be able to automatically randomize everything. And if you guys want to make it so then it gives the players certain roles, then you guys want to open your palette. You guys want to go over to game chips and go to the team mapping chip. Spawn that in, okay? Then you want to configure that to be team to player. Once you guys have done that, you guys just want to wire the team over to this multiplication right here. And then wait, nope. Wait, never mind. You guys don't want to do that. Just configure it to be whichever team you want the role to be, and you have to like copy this multiple times, by the way. You want to configure it to be whatever team you want it to give the role to. So I'm gonna say team 2 would get the role, and you want to set the index. You always want to set the index to 1, okay? Now, if you want the patients to have if you want them to have a certain, like, not patients, sorry, if you want the innocent to have a certain role, you guys can just put that into the everyone role. You can just customize the everyone role to be what you want the patient. Why do I keep on saying patients? What you want the innocents to have, okay? And they'll have it by default. And basically, once you guys spawn that in, you guys want to again open your palette, go over to role mapper chip, like in game chips, okay? Select role mapper chip on the second page of it, and you want to spawn that in. If you guys haven't done this already, you guys might want to create the role that you want them to get. It's right next to, like, the role chip is right next to the role mapper chip. I'm gonna put in I'm gonna spawn that in, and then you guys want to configure it. You might want to name it to make it easier for you. I'm gonna name it murderer, and then it will set that role's name. You guys want to edit the role for it to be able to do whatever you want. And if you want only them to be able to pick up something, then just do allow tags. Can pick up tags and edit it. Then you're on your watch, you should be able to add the tag, and you just put in the tag of the item you want them to be able to pick up. You guys, anyways, now for this, you guys want to wire the output of the team mapping chip over to the role mapper chip. Then you guys want to configure the role mapping chip to put in to be add player role, and then select the role you want them to get. For me, it's murderer. And yeah, that's it. And if you want them to get their roles removed at the end of the game, you guys just have to make it so then it will do that, you know. It should be pretty easy. All this, if you guys liked it, I would appreciate you guys like clicking that like button and subscribing, you know. I mean, I'm gonna actually post I'm thinking about posting more tutorials. I might actually at 275 I'm probably gonna post a tutorial on how to master chips, and I already know how to explain it, you know, guys. I just don't know if I should do it. At 275, I'll definitely do it at like 275 subs. Yeah, and it's gonna be a quick tutorial, by the way, because it's really simple. It's just the reason why people can't really do it is the mindset. I'm gonna teach you guys how to a master gadget, dude. Anyways, yeah, this is it. You guys can actually I published this room. I'm gonna quickly make it so then I'm gonna make it display the name real fast. Here, I'll show you guys the name. So just look up, whoops, okay. Just look up this name right there. So that name, and yeah, you guys should be able to find this, and you guys should be able to copy down what I have. But this tutorial is mostly necessary, kind of. And yeah, you guys get it. Okay, this is it for this tutorial. Turn on notifications for other tutorials, I guess, and bye.